Hey, somebody needs to grease the wheels. You have? Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You are listening to The Professional Noticer. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, thank you for making me a part of your week. My purpose here today and with every show we do is to play the part of a best friend or a coach. I want to help you live the life of your wildest dreams by giving you access to the greatest mentors the world has to offer today. This week, The Professional Noticer is sponsored by wisdomharbor.com. Here are a couple quick questions. First question, how long has the public school system in your state been repeating the mantra, more money for education? And the second question, through the years, as they've gotten more money, how much has changed? Today, schools all over America are finding wisdomharbor.com's one-of-a-kind streaming service to be the perfect, low-cost, high-quality educational tool for their students. Wisdom Harbor's stated responsibility is to create the next greatest generation, starting with your hometown and your school system. For less than $3 a month per teacher, classrooms have access to original content only found on wisdomharbor.com that teaches, entertains, and builds character in young people while creating conversations between young people and the adults in their community. Utilizing video, audio, and the written word, content is delivered in small bites by Grammy winners, CEOs, comedians, chefs, best-selling authors, and Hall of Fame speakers. There are even guitar lessons from an award-winning songwriter. Check it out today and join your friends and neighbors who are already a part of wisdomharbor.com. And isn't it time your schools got involved? Wisdomharbor.com, creating America's next greatest generation, starting with your hometown. Observations and answers. That's what we do here on The Professional Noticer. As you know, we love it when somebody comes to the table with both. I am very familiar with today's guest, and this is one of the few guests that I didn't have a hand in booking for this show. This was SB, Sandy, and Matt teamed up and secured this guest for us today. But I'm very excited. Actually, maybe a little nervous, but
You're a little nervous.
but I am excited to welcome Austin Andrews.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, buddy.
Team SB and Matt.
Yeah, SB and Matt, and I am I'm thrilled that you're here. You know, Adam has been on the podcast before.
I don't know how the youngest beat me to this.
Well, he was doing that shark thing.
Yeah.
So, but you have come on strong with what you are doing, and I think this is going to be a surprise to a lot of people, because a lot of people know that you build knives,
Right?
And so that has gone very well for you, and but you actually surprised your mom and me and your brother a couple of years ago, because Austin, we didn't know you could sing.
Yes, sir.
Now you, SB got you started playing the guitar. Tell us about that.
She one Christmas, I don't remember how
I
old
think you were
was.
12.
Yeah, it was like right at the beginning of middle school. So I got 12 or 13, something like that. But she gave me 4 guitar lessons over the course of a month, like one a week, at this place in Robertsdale, which is just north of here in Orange Beach, called Picker's Paradise. And Jody Payne, who played for Willie Nelson for
36
forever.
years.
Yeah. He had retired to Robertsdale, of all places, and I guess he it's one of those things he couldn't quit doing, I suppose. And so he gave lessons there, and we kind of hit it off after a few lessons, and I ended up taking from him for like a year and a half, and he eventually got sick and passed away from cancer. But he was doing it right up until the end there.
You know, when he passed away, because we were amazed at how you were playing then. I mean, I bugged you until you learned some of classical gas,
Mm-hmm.
and I still look at those 12-year-old fingers playing that sometimes on my phone.
Had to grow into my fingers.
Well, it was pretty amazing. But I remember pulling up and seeing Jody Payne sitting on the front porch, because you have always I've always told people that Austin has been 40 years old ever since he was 6.
It varies though from like 40, and sometimes I'll be a 4-year-old too. So I mean, I can be a little.
Well, back then, you probably don't remember the show that had Alex Keaton on there, but he was this little conservative guy and living in a family of liberals, and so we always kind of said, Austin's kind of Alex Keaton.
Yeah.
And so we pulled up, and Jody's sitting on the porch, and he's this long-haired, dried up, chain smoking hippie, and we're like, oh my gosh, I hope Austin's gonna do this. And you and Jody just like hit it off. He was a huge influence on you.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. I mean, he would still say things like groovy all the time, and that kind of stuff. And if he wasn't teaching guitar, he was sitting on that porch smoking cigarettes.
Right.
So, but I mean, there were days that I'd go in there and we just got to be kind of close. And I mean, there were days we probably barely strummed the guitars. I mean, we talk about hunting and
Really?
Yeah, there were a couple of days there wasn't much guitaring going on. So
Well, I know when Jody got real sick, and he told us that he couldn't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the last day, I think I've told you this, what he said, but the last day, he took me aside and he said, "Hey, I've taught him really what he needs to know, and he can take it from here, but he's got something, and he reminds me of me." That's what he said. I thought, what do you mean by that?
yeah, whoa, no.
Yeah, he
You're teaching my kid to
reminds
smoke.
me of me. It's like, okay. But when Jody died, you didn't play the guitar for a while.
No, I kind of fell out of it for a while, and then
It's like 7 years.
so yeah, that's a while.
while.
That's a while, more than a while, I guess. But yeah, like around 18 or 19, I heard "Cover Me Up." I think it's a Jason Isbell song, but I heard Morgan Wallen's version. I didn't know who Jason Isbell was at the time, and I heard that, and I was like, that's something a little different, it just the word wise and just the music. I mean, just all the things. And so I heard that, and I hadn't touched the guitar in a while, but I was like, I think I could probably figure that out. And then I messed with it and did that, and then for weeks I'd just play that same thing in my room, and then I'd hear something else, and then it just kind of spiraled into I think I can do that. And so,
I heard you, and after not hearing that guitar for 7 years, I heard you. I was walking by your room and heard you playing, and I went and got Mom and said, listen.
He's doing it again.
Yeah, he's doing it again. And so then, like the next night, I think you caught me outside your door. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, oh, that's
there it is.
Yeah,
that's all ever.
Then you were. Then I didn't hear you.
Like a baby deer, you can't spook them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where you were playing, but I would see the guitar moving.
Yeah.
And I would never say anything about it, but I'd see it moving.
The dust was slowly coming off it.
Right. And so then you were in Idaho for several months, working with a ranch out there, and you took the guitar out there. And Mom and I were both like, he took the guitar.
Oh.
And so I want to lay this surprise out, what happened up at the hunting camp. Okay. Because we were up there, and it was Ty Bullard, Jimmy Erie, me, and you. And of course, Ty is a family friend. Jimmy Erie is the songwriter of the year. There's 3 Song of the Year awards. He wrote "I Drive Your Truck." He wrote I Called Mama for Tim McGraw, last two Kenny Chesney number ones. He's 14 number one hits. And Jimmy is kind of like, he's your mentor. He has really taken over a lot of that, adult Austin thing, or I had you as a kid.
He's kind of like a Ty almost to a degree. Like he's younger than you, but he's older than me, and so he's got that, because I don't have a big brother. So I mean, he's got that big brother mentor thing in him, and so
right. And so he was playing for us. Do you remember this night?
Oh, I do.
He was playing for us, and he says, "Austin, did I see your guitar back in the room back there?" And Austin goes, "Yes, sir." He says, "Go get it." Austin goes, Jimmy says, "Go get your guitar." Said, okay. And when you brought that guitar out, I was just trying to disappear into the chair because I knew. I mean, how were you nervous?
Oh yeah, I was nervous. I was about to sweat through my shirt.
And so what happened there? So Jimmy,
I mean, I messed around with something I'd been working on, and someone, I guess Ty, was like, can you sing, or you do any of that? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And Jimmy was like, nah, he can probably do it. And he was like, just do something. And so I did and squeaked it out. But I mean, I was so nervous. I was about to have it come apart.
well, you sang two songs, and my memories of that was trying to stay perfectly still. I didn't want you to notice me. I knew you knew I was there, but I didn't want to. And I knew you were nervous. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know what that feels like, and as you were singing and playing, though,
it's almost worse with people that are like all in a little group staring at you. And it's like, because I have to wake up the next morning and see all you people if I do something stupid.
Well, as you were playing and singing, Jimmy, like you're over here, Ty's over here, Jimmy's here, I'm here, and Jimmy is doing this. He's doing this to me. And you were singing with your head down. You weren't looking at anybody.
I still sing with my head down most of the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
But it was so funny. And then, so everybody just goes, hey, that's great. And so then we go to bed. And as soon as I get back in my bedroom, it's like, pop, 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 pop. And I open the door. It's Jimmy. Jimmy comes in. He says, what was that? I said, I don't know. Jimmy said, did you know he could sing? I said, Jimmy, I have never heard him sing in my life. Not in the shower, not in the backyard, not whistling a tune. Never.
I used to mouth the words in church.
And I honestly, I had never heard you sing.
Well,
talk about a secret. And this was like 2 years ago.
Something like that. Yeah.
And now you're playing around places. Places are hiring you. They're individuals are hiring you for like home concerts, mm-hmm. and you and Jimmy are doing corporate events. So it's like, what are you and Jimmy doing together?
Well, he's got that. He's doing. I don't even know how to explain what he does corporately exactly.
Yeah, he does a lot of corporate events.
He does. And so it's kind of like you said, he's like my mentor. And so it's kind of that dynamic on stage where it's just,
he's mentoring
hard,
you.
Yeah. It's like an on stage
because
type of thing.
His single thing that he does with corporations is teaching relationships, relationship building, and the purpose of relationships. And corporations are always looking for mentoring help. And so here is a guy who has written some of the biggest songs in the world, mm-hmm. and he is mentoring a young guy, and y'all do it on stage. And Jimmy plays several songs, and you play a couple,
yep.
and you have the discussion, and Jimmy explains why he asks you this, and
mm-hmm.
and you explain how it makes you feel, and
that's a cool thing.
Yeah, so I think the corporations obviously are loving it. So Oh, let me ask you this. Would you mind, we got the guitar here, so
Sure.
can I sit quietly and still and you,
As long as you don't spook me.
as long as I don't spook you, if you could play one. One of the things that I like about what you do is you play stuff generally that I had never heard. I'm not some huge.
Let's see. Came a little unprepared. I needed to change my strings. I've been playing around town since I've been in Orange Beach, and I've been playing outside a little bit. And my strings have rusted over a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. This one is called the Stable Song. It was one of my favorite songs. It was kind of one of those that kind of like covered me up. I heard it and I was like, I need to figure that one out, and just because it's kind of one of those things, you know. It's Gregory Alan Isakov wrote it, and when people ask him what it's about, he tells them it's a poem about everything, because it's
Poem about everything.
because it's kind of like you can kind of interpret it however you want to.
Okay.
And, you know, it's kind of just, you know, I don't know how to describe it. It's a poem about everything. So there we go. It's the Stable Song. Our songs were just like prayers, like gospel hymns that you called in the air. Come down, sweet reverence, unto my simple house and ring, and ring. You ring like silver, ring out those ghosts on the Ohio. Ring like clear day wedding bells. Were we the belly of the beast or the sword that fell? You never tell. Come to me, clear and cold. Some say, watch the world spin in waves like some machines. Well, I've been crazy, couldn't you tell? I threw stones at the stars, but the whole sky fell. Now I'm covered up in straw, belly up on the table. Well, I laughed and drank and passed in the stable. That tall grass grows high and brown. Well, I dragged you straight in the muddy ground, but you send me back to where I roam. Well, I cursed and I cried, but now I know. Now I know. Yeah, but I ran back to that hollow again. Oh, the moon was just a sliver back then. Yeah, and I ached for my heart like some tin man. When it came, oh, it beat and it boiled and it rang. It's ringing. Ring like crazy, ring like hell. Turn me back into that wild-haired girl.
Wow. Thank you for doing that.
For sure.
Man, when you play, I know you play in Memphis and you've gone over to Arkansas and you're playing here and you got other places and you do I'm just shocked that you stand up there and play for 3 or 4 hours.
It's a long while. 3 is about I like that a lot. 4 can be pushing it towards the end, but I really enjoy doing it, and it's fun. You meet a lot of fun, interesting people doing it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I've been around here. It's been interesting to me to watch people stop and listen to you and then video you.
It feels weird seeing that. I'm happy about it and that people are liking it, but it's kind of odd to see someone videoing you. You don't know,
Yeah.
So
it's captivating. What is a couple of things that you can say that you've learned from Jimmy?
There's a lot. The main thing, I suppose, is like he talks about you feel it, when writing and that kind of stuff, and when playing, it's like if you feel it, they feel it, or to the degree you feel it, they'll feel it. They being whoever's listening. But it definitely makes sense because you everyone's been in a bar or a restaurant or something and seen some guy playing on stage who probably doesn't want to be there, or or just kind of fell into the gig or something like that, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like it comes across if someone's just doing this on stage, and or if someone's really feeling it and into it,
right?
And people tend to want to watch the people who are got some juice about it.
So has Jimmy helped with, I know that it's not natural comfort zone for you. So
I'm not much of a be loud and dance in front of people type of person.
See, I know, and that sometimes kills me because I think if I could sing and play like that, I'd be on top of this building saying, "Hey, listen to me!" And here we didn't even know you could sing. So, have you? Has Jimmy given you any hints in writing? Any help writing? What?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Are you writing?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm writing a few things here and there. I need to be writing more. It's kind of when I don't have any the structure about it, I guess, that I probably need, but it's kind of like if I sit down, because I'll play the guitar in the mornings when I get up a lot of times just to kind of get the day started or something, that
right.
kind of thing. And so sometimes it'll happen there. Sometimes I'll take the guitar to the shop and end up doing that more than knives. And so
this is your passion, right?
Yeah, I really enjoy doing this. And
you do the knives as work, as
right, and it kind of falls. It's all kind of art, and
sure.
So that's I like that aspect of the knives. But yeah, this is.
Well, this is compelling to me and interesting to me because it's the first thing. I hope you understand this when I say this. It's the first thing in your life that I hadn't had anything to do with.
Yeah, I suppose.
You have done this on your own. Your connections with Jimmy are yours. You know him because of me, but he likes you because of you, and you guys are close because of each other.
Right.
There's nothing I can tell you about the guitar and singing, and people say, where did that come from? And all I can figure out is your grandparents were both music majors. Certainly skipped a generation.
I always kind of feel like the actual playing and singing, I guess, came from them. But I feel like mom's like, because mom doesn't sing, but she
I've always said that my parents are music majors. I always said my parents are rolling over in the grave knowing I married a woman that can't carry a tune.
Yeah.
But she is a music person.
That's the thing. It's like I think I get the like love for it from her. I mean, I get the actual being able to do it, from them. I know they love the music too, but I don't know. Mom's a music nut, so I mean, she came in here on that blue plate that day, and we argued about songs for an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
So can you play something you've written?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay.
And I know, has Jimmy heard this?
I don't think so. I've sent him a few things I've written, but I don't think I've sent him this one. Might not be a great sign because he's normally the one who tells me if this needs a lot of work or it doesn't. So,
Well, take a deep breath and know that this will be the first time Jimmy hears it.
Yeah. No pressure or anything. No pressure. But yeah, I go down to the. I live in Memphis at the moment, and so I'll go down to the river sometimes. It's close to the Mississippi right there, and so there's a little trail that I think a bunch of homeless people use to get down there. But I go down there sometimes too, and you're in the city, and so there's plenty of people, but it's a good place to think, and so. But it's called River Bend. Smoking cigs and skipping stones. This ain't how my story goes. Water's rising way too fast. Hurry, boy, don't look back. And don't settle for what they want for you. You do you, just see it through. But I wanna go so far from where you'll be. I swear this is the last time you'll test me. And always feeling kind of alone is better than all the chaos of that home. And people who tend to yell, they don't know. They'll end up losing more than just control. And you made me feel like a kid with the words you said. Your apologies are empty, so my hope has gone to bed. But I'm done wishing on a star that's dead. So I set out for another town, find some new blood to hang around. I'm feeling good, I'm on my own. Poor for now, but not for long. Found a girl lives down the street. I'm so broken, she's so sweet. Loving the new lands that I go, finally free to be me, I know. But I wanna go so far from where you'll be. I swear this is the last time you'll test me.
they'll end up losing more than just control. And you made me feel like a kid with the words you said. Your apologies are empty, so my hope has gone to bed. But I'm done wishing on a star that's dead. You gave me a call today, I didn't know what to say. So I let it ring and cut off the phone, not in the mood to hear from your throne. I still go to that river bend, smoke a bit and throw stones in. I still think about the things you said, locked my hope inside a shed. But I'm done wishing on a star that's dead. Yeah, I'm done wishing on a star that's dead.
That, that's amazing. I think that'll touch a lot of people. I think it's probably a journey that a lot of young men can relate to.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of feel like you gotta do your own thing eventually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful, Austin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Hey, I see that you have your suitcase out there.
I do.
We were kind of amazed when you came home with the suitcase. We're like, what? And so before we go out there, because will you do one?
Oh yeah, no,
because I've just got to say, we watch and we're like, he's singing, he's got this hand going, sometimes these fingers going. Now he's got both feet going, and I can't rub my stomach and pat my head. I don't
know. I can't really explain that. It's just a lot going on up here.
Well, let's go do it.
Okay, cool.
Staring at the pictures of the runaways on the wall. Well, it seems like these days you couldn't run away at all. And even if you did, what you got to run away to? Just another drunk daddy with a white man's point of view. I can see you in my mind's eye catching light. Oh, we'll sleep beside the river if we make it out of town tonight. You can dance in Portland from the day you turn 16. You got one thing to sell, benzodiazepine. Ago I might saw you dancing in a different light and offered up my help in different ways, but those are different days. Yeah, those are different days. Had a girl back home and we shared a single bed. When I whispered in her ear, she believed every word I said. And if she didn't believe, she didn't dare cut me slack. Or it was, baby, I love you, but you gotta get off of my back. Well, time went by and I left again. Well, Jesus loves a sinner, but the highway loves a sin. Well, my daddy told me, I believe he told me true, that the right thing's always the hardest thing to do. Well, 10 years ago I might stuck around for another night and offered up my help in different ways, but those are different days. Yeah, those are different days. But the story is only mine to live and die with, and the answer's only mine to come across. But the ghost that I got scared and I got high with looks a little lost. Well, 10 years ago I might thought I didn't have the right to say the things an outlaw wouldn't say, but those are different days. Yeah, those are different days. Yeah, those are different days.
Okay, I'm still blown away. It's like this, and this, singing and kicking.
A little bit of everything.
How long did it take you to learn that, or is that something you just kind of have?
I think you have it, but you also have to learn it. Like I think you can either do that or you can't. Like, I mean, if you can clap along to the song and keep rhythm that way, I think you could probably figure that out eventually. But yeah, I think if you don't have rhythm, you're kind of screwed in that department. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It probably took a year before I was comfortable playing that in front of people. And
Well,
so,
when
it even if you have the rhythm thing, it takes a while to get your brain thinking that way, where you're, because you got to learn whatever you're doing on the guitar first, so you don't have to think about that part, I guess, and then you can throw that in there, and then eventually it all kind of, blends together.
Now, what's with the electric guitar versus the acoustic?
I just like the way it sounds for certain songs, and it's I think it's good for the playing live and stuff. It's kind of gives a little switch up to the whole vibe of the thing. And,
right. Well, people kind of can't get enough of you with that. I mean, they love these sounds, and then because it's funny to me to sit in the back and watch people watch you, and when you start that, people are going talking. It's
the little kids are the ones who seem to like it the most.
Really?
Yeah, they'll be tiny kids, and they'll come up to whatever stage and be like, well, what's the deal with that?
We laughed out at the boat at the wharf,
mm-hmm.
which I think that's where you are next. But
yeah, I'll be out there tonight.
Yeah. Well, we laughed. Mom and I were sitting toward the back, and we watched these 3 girls, and they looked like junior high school girls. They came and sat on a bench right next to you, to your side.
Right,
and they were whispering to each other, and we thought, what are they, and they were videoing you, and for like 5 or 6 songs, and then in between songs, one of them got up and walked toward the stage, and we saw you see her, and you leaned over and talked to her for a second, and then she went back, and we asked you later, said, what did she ask? And Austin said, she wanted to know how old I was. 23. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm out of here. Yeah. There was a woman the other night. She was like, she was like, you're the cutest 15-year-old I've ever seen.
She said, you're the cutest 15-year-old?
Yeah, I was like, actually, I'm 12. Thank you very much.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, thank you for being with us, for doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. And so we're going to put how people can read and keep up with us. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Andy Andrews, Austin's dad, the professional noticer, harnessing common sense and wisdom to plow through challenges all the way to an answer for you. And I think that'll do it for this week. Get us out of here, Matthew. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to the boys and girls who aspire to become ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of another episode of The Professional Noticer. In a world where common sense has become a superpower, I'm harnessing the tiny bit of mental energy I have for you, seeking wisdom, making observations, and endeavoring to answer tough questions in a way that will empower your family and your business. I'm Andy Andrews. Until next week, goodbye. This episode of The Professional Noticer was produced by Matt Limpert. The Noticer theme written and performed by Sugarcane Jane. Sour Grapes for the cast and crew provided by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Additional financial consideration provided by audiblecorrections.com. Are you an Audible subscriber? Do you believe that for the monthly price you're charged, the least you can expect are correctly pronounced words? That's where audiblecorrections.com can help. To be clear, we can't actually change the mispronounced words, but we can make Audible want to change them, and we can be sure they're more careful in the future. First, why would a company specializing in the spoken word have so many mispronunciations in the first place? The books are narrated by professional readers who are being paid to get it right. They're joined in studio by producers who silently read along with the narrator to be certain they get it right. Then professional editors listen to the finished product to make sure they got it right. Why then does the reader of James Lee Burke books pronounce the name of the small fish brim as bream? Why does he pronounce Pierrot as pirogue? And why has this happened with the same narrator in 20 of Burke's books? The narrator of A Game of Thrones pronounces Peter Baelish as Potar all the way through the book. Yes, it is spelled P-E-T-Y-R, but that is pronounced Peter. It's not Potar. It's just Peter. In Nora Roberts' The Obsession, the narrator apparently cannot distinguish between the words wander and wonder. Throughout the book, people are wandering around and wondering about what others are doing. Both words are pronounced that way multiple times. We could go on, and we're certain you could add to the list. That is why, with your permission and your email address, audiblecorrections.com will bombard Audible with polite online mail, constantly pointing out their errors. We will also begin immediately urging everyone we know to pronounce their name audible. That's just how aggravated we are. audiblecorrections.com.